from the Mac of All Trades studio in Fairport. And driven by Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, it's Billified, the Bill Moran Podcast.
Well, hello and welcome. Thank you for getting your pod on. Thank you for telling a friend. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching us on YouTube at Billified. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate it. We are taping this on Leap Day.
Yes.
You know, if we didn't have Leap Day, you would literally have Christmas in July because the Earth, the Earth, that would be the planet that we're on. It's Earth. It's Earth, right?
Not that one that NASA discovered?
Are we on Earth?
Yeah.
Earth, what does it go around the sun? 365 days,
and 14 minutes.
5 hours and 28 minutes. So every 4 years, that's a day.
Oh, okay.
So every 100 years, we would be way off.
Yeah.
Right? So every century, I think it would take like 600 years, you would have Christmas in July, literally in the Northern Hemisphere, and it would take like another 850 years to get it back to December.
Yeah.
So
Neil deGrasse Tyson explained how it all works.
Oh, he did?
The Gregorians got it right.
Yeah.
With the calendar.
How is that possible? How is that possible that they got it right
all
and
the
we
people
can't
got it
figure it
right.
out?
Yeah.
Well, no, but I mean, it's like, I think even the Incas got it right. They had a pyramid that was.
Yeah, they did. But there's no more Incas. So I don't know. Maybe maybe that's the one thing they got right.
I don't know. I'm just saying to you that, like, so are we smarter today or dumber today than our...
Great question. I think we have more knowledge. I don't know if we're smarter. Does that make sense?
Yes, of course it does.
Because I think everything in life has a price.
And people had to figure out the sun and the moon and the this and the that, and we just kind of go,
yeah, it's there.
The moon's made of cheese. That's what it is. I don't know. All right.
Yeah. I think everything in life has a price. And I think like the price of having knowledge at your fingertips is that we get stupider. We get dumber. So instead of memorizing things or knowing things, I can look it up. Like things that like 20 years ago or 30 years ago, I should say, we needed to know. It just wouldn't look up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they used to tell us, you're not going to have a calculator when you get older. Oh, look, I got a phone. Right?
Know. Right.
But like you got kids who can't even they don't even know like, This is a true story. College.
Oh, my God. Here we go.
College kids.
Okay, one.
From when I was in college.
All right, what? What did you see? What did you not know?
Oh, I knew.
Well,
I had to I went to my professor, Dr. Mary Lopicaro.
Uh-huh.
Was she there when you were there?
I don't know. I didn't know.
And I said, hey, I have to leave class early. I have to drive home to vote. It was the Bush-Gore election.
Okay.
And she goes, okay.
Hanging
and somebody
Chad.
goes, well, you could just go vote in the school gym. I go,
right.
No, my residence is still back home. I go, is your home residence here?
Yeah.
She goes, well, no, I live in Syracuse. I go, yeah, then if you want to vote today, go down to the gym. Let's see what they say.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
I don't know whether to forgive somebody for that or not at a young age.
Well, because we've been allowed so many liberties in life to have the luxury of not considering those things.
Well, yes.
I mean, think about it. Our parents had to drive stick shift. They had to know how to pay mortgages and taxes and do all these crazy things that were like, hey, I'm 28. Hey, Dad, how does this work?
Yeah. Well, okay, but so I don't. But again, I don't know if that's ignorant. Mm-hmm. I would call it ignorant, which then I guess you could say is kind of dumb. But I don't know that it doesn't mean you're not smart. If that
I don't think that's the case. I think that we were allowed to be more ignorant.
Well, I don't.
Than ever before.
We didn't teach. I don't know if it was civics. Mm-hmm. We didn't. You remember they used to call it civics class.
They never taught civics.
We didn't really have civics for me either. But I did know that
our parents' generation.
Yeah, you're right. I knew, but I did know that
they didn't have Regents math. They taught you business math. Like math you could use, not math that okay, we're gonna learn trig today.
At the end of the month, I will have, towards the end of March, there will be a podcast that will air that I taped earlier today with a gentleman from the Ukraine.
Okay.
Who went back there. He is of Jewish descent and was originally working on a documentary about the Holocaust, and a certain part of Ukraine that was very involved in the Soviets, and his parents were Soviet Jews. His dad, as a Jewish man, rose to a captain in the Soviet army. It's a really interesting conversation, but the fact that the shit we don't know about the world is amazing, because, you know, when the USSR broke up, you forget that, you know, Ukrainians were proud. Think of America. You're proud, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people are very proud Americans. We're proud of our country, especially if you've been here for generations and your family, and, you know, you built something here and you have kind of roots and all that. Well, that's what people have around the world, and some other country comes in and annexes it and takes it over and says, this is ours. And then all of a sudden that falls apart. The Iron Curtain comes crashing down, and now you've got somebody coming back and going, oh, no, I'm taking it back. I'm taking it back. Yeah. And I want to take back all the way to Madrid. And, you know, so there's some great concern there. But it's just amazing to me, because I don't think, like, a lot of times, you know, people don't understand why the Eastern Bloc of Europe with Yugoslavia didn't work. Well, you had Slavics and you had other people, and you said, you're a country. Yes. And they went, well, we hate each other. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or we don't get along. Or,
figure it out.
Hey, what about us? What about us? We want our own little space here. And it becomes territorial. I mean, I don't know. But it's amazing, as you're pointing this out, how much we don't know and how much we do take for granted. You're right.
Because we've had the luxury and the ability to do that. Yeah. So thank a grandparent. Thank a veteran that we have these freedoms.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seriously. Yeah. The freedom of ignorance. Think about that.
Yeah.
We have the freedom of ignorance. Well, not only do we not know, we don't have to know.
No, we don't have to know. And anything you really want to know, you can look up. Yeah. If you're quick on your feet, you can make it seem like you know everything.
Oh, I try every day. My wife usually catches me, though. She's quicker than I am.
No, but I'm saying, like, if you read and you can make it sound like you look up enough information, and you got to make sure it's good information, because, well, there's things nowadays on the worldwide internets that you can't really tell what's real or not. For example, I'll play this for you.
Baltimore City Police have charged a man. 31-year-old Dwayne Townsend is charged with indecent exposure and disorderly conduct on several occasions dating back to November of 2018.
And you see, that's what the problem is. Now, it's a beautiful day. I want to come outside with my shirt off, and I was just jogging, trying to get my body back in shape. And all of a sudden, I get hit stick like I'm on Madden, just boom, out of nowhere by a cop. And, you know, it scared the hell out of me. I was so scared, y'all, I didn't on myself. And I'm talking about I was wet. I was wetter than a whale in a bubble bath drinking a bottle of water, okay? And to myself, I said, indecent exposure? Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right. What you want me to do? I'm a man. You want me to put on a bra? Man, that bra strap will snap like a bungee cord. Just go. And, you know, I just came out of court, and they just gave me 2 court dates. One for each titty.
I'm sorry. It's had a fantastic.
So if you're watching this, as the news banner down, it looks just like the guy in the mugshot. I watched.
They let him say on radio, television. You can't say the word titty.
Yeah.
Each titty.
Yeah. So, and then that lady's laughing back at the newsroom. There's a woman laughing, and you go, "Is this?" I had to go.
Is this real?
Is this real? I go, there is no way this is real. It isn't.
Wrapped him up.
This is the guy.
Better than any Christmas present you ever see.
Have you seen that video? A comedian going viral, and turns out he's from Lafayette. That video was a parody about a recent national news story, and turns out it's also not this comedian's first time getting some national attention. 3's on the street tonight. Victor Georges has the story, all new tonight at 10.
If you've been online the past couple of days, you've probably come across this video. Last time I checked, it had 2.4 million views on YouTube. Its creator, James Bates, tells me although his videos are now down to a formula, he's still overwhelmed with the reaction.
It's surreal because I don't really know what to do with all of the attention.
So he just takes news clips.
I'm really shy,
and then puts himself in there with their news banner.
The spotlight this time around is based on a news story about a passenger taped to the seat after attacking a flight attendant on a flight to Miami. Although that did happen, his video is just for fun. He plays the flight attendant that allegedly taped a man to his seat.
brilliant.
A lot of his content is parodies of interviews you might see
Real
on local
interviews.
news channels, just like KATC.
In the interviews, I just always make some type of sound. I didn't know they were that good, but let's try it.
That's the tape that he would do.
And I did the
Wrap him up on the like tape the
I
guy.
don't know.
And now, about to hit the 200,000 subscribers mark on YouTube.
Anyway, so I mean, the thing is, like, when you first see that, you go, okay, this has got to be a joke, except that everything's matching. The thing that stood out for me was he's not standing outside of a courtroom. He's in a parking lot of like a strip mall.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And now, is it possible that...
Well, that's where news people get a lot of their interviews.
Right, but is it possible that that's where the court was? Like he's
Yeah, it could be.
he's coming out, I guess. So I'm looking at it going, something ain't right here. So I had to do a little more digging. But just think, you moving through, you could go, like if I told you that was a real news story, would you have believed it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could have believed it.
Especially if you see it. We're hearing the audio. It sounds a little different when I'm hearing it. And
He did go long. I mean, like
Yes,
news
yes.
clips don't go like
No,
of
they
people
don't.
talking don't go that
Right,
long.
they don't.
Because usually the reporter has to interrupt. But that wasn't all,
Yeah.
and then he continues on.
Right.
One neighbor said, and then the neighbor talks.
Right,
But it's
right.
usually like a 5-second bite, not
But
30 seconds.
It's all the social media stuff, and we see so many things, and that's where I always worry sometimes now with the amount of information that we get, that I'm not saying that the information that you're getting is necessarily wrong, but I think that you got to look a little deeper on some things. On some things, I think if we, you know what I mean, some things.
Yeah.
I think you got to go a little bit deeper, especially the stuff that you go, wait a second.
If it sounds too weird, if you got something in the back of your head going,
All right,
hang on.
Well, then what? But hang on, you were defending one, and I wasn't even going to bring this up, but I'm just thinking of it now. The kitty litter box thing sounded so absurd to me, and here's why.
I heard that in church.
You could have.
Yeah. And then I went and looked it up, and
But
it's all, oh, yeah, this happens.
Yes, but it didn't, and it was because there's no way in a public school they could let somebody shit in a litter box and leave it there. They couldn't do that. That's why I'm going, that made no sense. But my thing is, like, and I get it, it fuels a whole narrative of people that don't like things that are happening. You know what I mean? But that's all I'm saying. And I don't mean to pick on that story. I'm just saying,
I
like,
appreciate that,
well, here's the other thing. Is like I'm changing my views a little bit on some things with social media. I saw someone today who I don't know them. I may have met them once. Somehow I'm friends with them on social media. But I think I have been for a number of years. I think they were a fan of, I think, the Break Room when we did that.
Oh, wow. The original.
Yes. And the person got divorced and posts a lot of things.
In response to their ex?
No, I don't know. Nope.
They just become more vocal.
No, they're posting things like, I'm out, I'm feeling good. Basically, I would say it would be almost like an attention-getting thing. It would be one of these things that would normally...
Hanging with my new boo!
No, not even that.
Oh, no?
No, it's basically like, I'm depressed, but I'm getting up and I'm moving.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm having a hard time, but every day, still trying to do my best. And
Okay.
I would make fun because it would be selfies.
Yeah.
And I would be like, oh God, it's another attention-seeking person. And then I stopped today and I thought, well, hang on a second. Maybe this isn't a bad thing. Somebody actually clearly is going through a hard time. And the one thing that you feel when you go through a hard time, and anybody who has lost a loved one to suicide or maybe has attempted at some point or has somebody who has attempted, I think most of that is, I believe that most people, I'm basing this on nothing but gut. I don't ever want to be accused of like, you try to talk like a doctor. I just think that most of those people are looking for an escape from a situation that they're in currently. And I don't know that if there was some other means that it would be as drastic. Does that make sense?
Yeah, right.
Like, I see no way out but this. I can't handle this anymore. It's terrible. It's sad. But I thought this is another thing where it's somebody who's sad. And the one thing you never want to feel is alone.
No.
And like there's no way out. And I read some of the comments and I thought, maybe this isn't so bad. you can scroll by and not have to, because I look at it and I think my first gut reaction is like, God, here we go.
Right.
Here we go.
The attention grabber.
My life's so bad. It sucks. What am I going to do? And I thought, well, hold on a second. That's not the case. I mean, it is, but it's not. It's somebody who's getting support from a community of people knowing they're not alone. And maybe somebody picks up the phone and calls and says, hey, how you doing today? I saw that, and I hope you're okay. I've done that with people.
I've done that with people, too. I've been told to F off. But, yeah, I've done that with people, and they're like, I appreciate you checking in.
Wait. Someone you called to check on told you to F off?
I sent him a text. I go, hey, man, I'm seeing, like, a lot of stuff from you lately online.
Yeah.
You all right?
Yeah.
And he basically said, yeah, it's none of your business.
Then why are you putting it online?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Did you say that?
I go, okay. Like, there's this one guy we both know.
Yeah.
And he was in the radio business. He wasn't well known, and he got laid off years ago, but he's always wanted to do radio. He loves radio, but he's taken this job at a local grocery chain, let's say. And
Crohn's?
He's no. And Crohn's is never. I don't think I've ever seen Crohn's in a movie.
No, never.
He's a happy guy.
People don't need to.
So no, but this guy, he was always miserable.
Yeah.
And I saw a couple opportunities that I thought could help this dude.
Opportunities,
like work opportunities, like
radio.
Yeah, not just radio, but just in general. Like he lived in the vicinity.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all you had to do is basically be competent. To do this job, and it paid a lot more. And I said, listen, hey, there's an opportunity in your neighborhood to do this. He goes, what? What if you sign up 5 friends, you get a freebie or something like that? I go, okay, you know what? I'm done trying to help you, man. Go back and smoke some more pot you can't afford.
Well, what do you care?
But the point is, like, I think you're trying to help somebody.
You don't need to save
Clearly,
the world.
But he was reaching out. He's letting the world know.
Well, that's true. That is a weird thing.
I wouldn't have reached out if he wasn't,
if he wasn't posting.
Wasn't pouting every 15 minutes.
Right, and this person, too, was putting up a thing where you go, almost as though, I'm feeling good. You're looking for that encouragement. And I thought, if this helps you, wonderful. What do I care? I'm still going to laugh behind your back. It's fine.
So there's this one guy who we know whom declared himself an alcoholic and posted it on social media. He goes, I'm not the kind of alcoholic you think I am.
Oh, God.
I go, what do you... I'm like, don't talk about it?
I don't know if you should or shouldn't.
In other words, I don't have a drinking problem where I need to drink every day.
Okay.
I have the drinking problem where when I have one, leads to 2, which leads to 4, and makes me very angry.
Yeah,
so,
you can't stop sometimes.
Right.
Yeah,
he goes, but I don't even need to drink every day, but I think I'm an alcoholic. So thoughts and prayers are welcome, and I could use your encouragement. So all these people locally, and some heavy hitters are like, this is so good of you to post this, man. I wish you the best. Best of help for you, man.
Danny, are you going to get me in any kind of trouble? Because if I...
No. 2 days later. This is years ago.
I'm going to write down who I think it is.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
And then you tell me if I'm right or wrong. Keep going. Keep
talking
about
2 days later, people started calling him out saying, dude, you're not really an alcoholic. You're an attention whore. Stop it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew it. I saw
and then he starts going off about how people are mean to him. And I'm like, no, I'm with them, dude. You're not an alcoholic. Right, you're an attention. You're an attention seeker.
But here's
what?
See, this is where I get.
This is why. Bring it back to where you're saying. This is why we get sarcastic and facetious when people post those fishing type of posts.
Yes, but
this is why we can't take it seriously.
But I don't react to them, and I am entertained by it. I am entertained. The person that I'm talking about is an attractive person, but clearly in pain. And I thought, I don't know why. All of a sudden it hit me today. I'm like, what? But maybe this is a good thing. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's nice. Maybe this is a plus side of social media, right? Not everybody's Bill Moran. But
you're absolutely right. They broke the mold when they made you.
No, they didn't. But
they did.
I'm just saying, okay. But then on the other side, when it comes to and there's something where if a woman posts one thing, I maybe it's misogynistic of me, I don't know, but I would have a little more empathy when a woman is saying something and being honest. And I think women are, I will always think that the feminine, I'll call it that, is more emotionally intelligent.
Yes.
I really do. And I think like most guys.
Now, they have the advantage, though, because they're the pursued.
Yes, but I also think, but I also think the guys are both through nurture and nature. Both, I think, just don't have it. I think naturally we don't sometimes get it.
Or not have to worry as much.
We don't get it. We don't get some of these. There's a disconnect in some of the emotional stuff. Not always, but we have feelings and things. But then we're also told, be a man.
Well, yeah, because women are not trained, but like genetically are supposed to be mothers.
Yes.
Nurturing, right?
Yes.
They also have to worry about more as the, I don't want to say weaker vessel of the male and female species, but they are the ones that need to be protected more than we do. Like you and I don't have to worry about going in the parking lot and worry about getting jumped.
Yeah, you do.
Or working by, maybe I do. Maybe I should. And that goes to your point of emotional intelligence, lacking it.
No. Anyway,
sorry.
No, that's fine. But the one you're talking about, it is odd, and I think I will tell you off air. I say off air, but off microphone. What I really think is the thing there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because look, I did go for an alcohol evaluation.
I remember.
I did do that.
You went like 80 days or something without a drink.
I almost went 90. I was trying to go 90, and
you were like Club Soda. You were like Mr. Club Soda guy.
I went to like 87 or 88 days. But I did it because
should have done a Club Soda taste test.
Something happened, and it was one of those things. Again, more social situation, but social situation that I didn't keep a lid on, and I can't. And there are times I can't keep a lid on, and I wouldn't. I have a family history of alcoholism, a long family history of alcoholism. So I thought, no, this isn't good, and I just went. All I did was talk to somebody, and then I went. Now the evaluation. It seems like, to be an alcoholic, it's like I felt as though they're going, do you sniff a wine cork? You're an alcoholic.
Yeah, they've lowered.
I don't know.
Have they lowered the standards?
I don't know. I can't say.
Back in my day, if you wanted to be an alcoholic, you had to earn it.
Look, you're not out. I've had family members, they couldn't buy the kids shoes because they drank the money away.
Oy.
Like the day's pay. Whatever it was. And then we're going back.
My great-grandfather.
We're going back we're going back a generation or 2 generations for me. 2 generations. But that's not that long ago. And if we say generations every 25 years, you're not that long ago, right? People that I was aware of were aware of the story. People I knew, right? My grandparents and stuff. It was that generation. And so you go, yeah, that's a problem. I was never there.
No.
I was never there.
I think there's like a spectrum.
Yes.
Right.
But I mean, and neither were people that I was dependent upon. They weren't certainly held down jobs and things, but I had a battle with the bottle.
Well, I had that friend I was telling you about, right? Who didn't invite me to his intervention.
Yeah.
He just quit drinking that day.
Yeah.
He never had to go. He went to not a meeting, but he went to a counselor.
Yeah.
He hasn't had a drink since in like 10 years.
I'll tell you my theory on this, and I don't know.
Because even I was kind of fooled. Like, I didn't know you were an alcoholic.
Well, the idea that it's a disease. We're told it's a disease. I'm not sure that I agree with that.
I agree with you.
And I think people get very angry at me. And I'm not saying that there isn't something. And then and all these rehab facilities, and it's wonderful. And I hope that you do change your life. And I hope that you have a better life. And I hope that you're able to hold a job and relationships and all these things, and that the bottle doesn't get in the way or whatever it is. But I think that a lot of times there's some kind of deeper emotional pain, and you're medicating it. And I think if you get to the root of whatever that is, I don't know what it is. Neither do you. Exactly.
Right.
But if you would allow yourself to, I don't know what it is. I'm not a big talk therapy fan. But hey, you got to start somewhere, figuring stuff out. What is it that is made you go here? And then does your body become dependent upon it and stuff like that? Yeah, yes. So could it become maybe? I don't know.
It can, but like you don't wake up in the morning after years of sobriety and go, you know what, man? Oh,
but there is sometimes
I could use some bourbon.
Wait,
what? Dan, that's so out of character. I know. I'm just craving some bourbon. You know what bourbon tastes? Not really.
I don't know. I don't know what the story is, and I'm sure people will get upset, but I usually think there's some underlying thing that you're trying to to mask. And so a lot of times there's a term for people who do what your friend did, and that's a dry drunk. And it's somebody who puts one addiction with another. Now all of a sudden they're working out all the time, and that's their thing. Or they immerse themselves into work, or they immerse themselves into being sober and preaching. And again, not bad, better than the alternative, clearly, but I think there's still all that pain that is there is still there.
Don't you love the guy who quits a habit and then has to educate everybody else? Yeah. We worked with a guy like that who quit smoking, and then he decided to go and tell the world about how bad smoking was.
Well, I know, and
they're all gonna die.
I can't laugh. Again, I find it somewhat entertaining, and I go, it doesn't really. I don't know why I do this, but it doesn't really affect my life. And as long as they're happy, and if they feel good about what they're doing, I care.
Right.
No skin off my ass.
Yeah.
Then,
doesn't impact my life. Yeah.
No, and I'm not going to stop to listen to you either. I got shit to do.
Right.
You go talk.
Great. Good for you, buddy.
Hey, man, I don't smoke.
Good for you.
Yeah,
Good for you.
It sounds patronizing and shitty, to be honest with you.
That's awesome, man. That's great. That's great. Hey, I got to go to Wegmans, man.
I got to go to Wegmans. I did see something today, too, real quick, that 89% of people, according to today.ugov.com survey, 89% of people say they've been in love. I'm wondering who these other 11... I'm not kidding. My first thought was, wow, I don't know anybody who at some point in their life wasn't in love or said they were in love or felt like they were in love. Maybe they aren't sure.
Maybe they have a different definition of love. They've been told that what they had was lust or infatuation, but not real love.
Okay, but 11%?
That's a lot of people.
That's saying 1 in 10 or more, slightly more?
A little more than 10.
Yeah.
1 in 10.
That says they've never been in love? I bet they love the bottle.
They love something.
All right. We'll take a moment. I want to try to call a person who's been on the program before.
Okay.
Do you remember Tabitha?
Oh, yeah.
She was the one who had the French bulldog ripped out of her hand.
Yeah, out of the car, yeah.
I think Kevin sent me this. I think there's a warrant out for her, like an Old West style warrant. For real.
So can we get a cash reward?
I don't know. I just want to. So
if you see this woman, do not approach her.
I've been corresponding with her.
Call Crime Stoppers for a cash reward.
I'll tell you, this young lady is a hustler. Like, she works really hard. I wonder if she was trespassing somewhere for what her new business is.
Okay.
Which is abandoned storage sheds. She goes in and just cleans out the junk. I would not be surprised if there was a miscommunication somewhere where whoever owned storage unit XYZ thought that Danny had abandoned it because he hasn't paid in 6 months and figured, fuck it, we're opening it up. If you find things, we'll auction this stuff off.
Yeah.
And she went in there, and I don't know. I'm hoping it's that. But we'll try to call her. We may not get her, and if we don't get her, that's fine. I have another story that's going to make everybody squirm.
Wow.
Yes. We'll get
to unpack next.
Oh, a lot to unpack next.